Welcome to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
All right, this is the Heavy Door Horror Podcast for June 26, 2025. My name is Heavy Door Dan. Ganja Zombie, the original Babylon John, the radioactive one, coming to you from Union City, California. Eric, you need to stop laughing at that every time, man. I mean, come on.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
But anyway, let's jump right into it. This week's movie is going to be Dead Alive, or Brain Dead Alive, as I started calling it. Let's go ahead and go through the squad, and we're missing a few people tonight, but we're going to start as usual alphabetically with Eddie Deeds. How you doing, Mr. Deeds?
Eddie, get your head out of your ass.
What's good, guys? Glad to be here. Work is always crazy. This week has been, I want to say no different, but glad to be here at the podcast because I just know that, we get this podcast in and, leads to the weekend. So
yeah, that's right, man.
There we go.
Tomorrow's Friday. Yep. All right. Eric, what's happening, man?
Hey, Eric. How you doing, Eric?
Hey, how you doing? Good week. Glad to be here. Glad to be here to do this movie. This movie, wow. Let me just say this movie, wow.
Okay. All right. And Louie, how about you? How's the week?
What's that?
How's the week?
Good. It went by super fast.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's Friday, and yeah,
About to
let's
start
talk
in.
about this.
I'm gonna see you
Some
on
New Zealand.
I'm gonna see you on Saturday, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's go. Let's see. Let me do one thing real quick. I should have did this right before you all popped on, but let me just go ahead and open this. Come on, man. Okay. So, Dead Alive. Let's see. So let's jump right in. Oh, so let's see. Eddie, you saw the movie, assuming? 100%. I mean, I imagine at some point we could stop asking this question, right? Eric, you saw the movie. Louis, you saw the movie, so we're all good. Let's see, because that's the point of the show, right? Let's see. Invite everybody. Oh yeah. So what about last movie? Anybody see anything this week other than the movie of the week? Eddie.
I didn't have time to watch any other movies this
Nothing
week,
else? Okay.
unfortunately.
All right. That's okay. Hey man, it's not a crime. As long as you watch the movie of the week, it's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah, I watched the movie of the week, and that's about
That's
it.
the only thing I care about, to be honest with you, at this point. Eric, how about you? See anything other than Brain Dead Alive?
I did. I've been watching the Punisher TV series with John Berthel or whatever it's however you pronounce his name. I'm on. Pretty good. Had never really watched it, so checking.
Is that from the last few years?
Yeah, it came out. I think first season dropped in like 2018.
Oh, okay.
So it's a few years old now.
Sure.
But yeah.
All right, Louis. What did you catch anything other than the movie of the week? You saw a bunch of movies, right?
Yeah, but the two ones I want to highlight are the Clown in the Cornfield.
Yeah,
that was a big one.
Eric
But,
watched Clown in the Cornfield.
Did you?
No, I'm saying Eric, you should watch Clown in the Cornfield. Everybody should, but go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
And then Until Dawn was like
That's
probably the highlight of the week, the weekend for me. Last weekend.
yeah. I was gonna try and watch it, but I couldn't find it. That's the one with the house on the poster.
Yeah, it's a trip. You got to watch it. I'm not gonna. say nothing.
Yeah. No, we almost watched it. Anything else?
No, I watched I don't even want to mention all the other movies like the Marshmallow movie.
Oh yeah,
and all
so
that.
Marshmallow wasn't good.
It just turned into this like it was like one of those like a kid at a camp base type thing. It turned super sci-fi and I didn't like that.
All right, we'll check it out. I saw. I had tickets a week ahead of time. I went and saw 28 years later. It was pretty epic. I mean, I don't know. I think nowadays critics are kind of ape shit about everything that comes out. Everything gets. I mean, I don't see how every movie could be 99, 98, 96. It seems like they're getting out of the kind of control with this whole fucking Rotten Tomatoes bullshit. Having said that, it was a pretty dope ass movie. It was a lot of fun, and it was cool because it was very clearly part one of a trilogy, or part one of a sequel at the very least. And it looked like there's a lot more to come. So it was pretty sick, man. There's some pretty crazy characters. Some of the imagery and shit like that in the movie was pretty intense, man. And there's a couple scenes in there that, I mean, had my heart racing, and I'm pretty used to these types of movies. And I mean, there's some shit in there that's pretty worth going out to the movie theater to see. I mean, it scared the shit out of you kind of shit. But it was fun. It was fun.
Would you
Well,
say?
that's that.
Yeah, I've been waiting to watch it, so eventually I'll get to it. But
Yeah, it was.
yeah, I mean, I've been waiting years for that to come out. I've been waiting years for 28 years.
24 years, yeah, for sure, man. But all right, well, let's hop into the movie. So this week's film, brought to you by the Heavy Door Horror Podcast, is Brain Dead, also known as Dead Alive, from 1992. This is a film by Peter Jackson. Now, I'm assuming everybody knows who Peter Jackson went on to be, right? Basically, one of the richest people in the world. Most,
Lord of the Rings, baby. Lord of the Rings.
The highest grossing film franchise, other than like the Avengers. But
Pretty much of all
as you can
time.
see, he started out small, but he did some pretty impressive shit. So, all right, so movie opens up. We get a so again this week we're gonna we have a handful of clips that I'm gonna show, and hopefully we'll do it in the chronology with the movie. We're not gonna have the movie playing on this side. If anybody wants to be watching it on your end to kind of cover my ass, you're more than welcome to do that. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So we open up with Queen Elizabeth. She never looked so hot, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, she was a young lady there, and I don't. I mean, come on. Last time we saw her, she looked like a catcher's mitt in a wheelchair. So she was looking pretty good back then. We get so apparently this is brought to you by Wingnut Films, which I guess is probably one of Peter Jackson's first film companies. It could be the name he's using for his Lord of the Rings movies these days, for all we know. It is? Okay.
It is.
Yeah, so we cut into Skull Island, which is southwest of Sumatra, apparently, 1957. And we see two guys running through like a big crevasse in the mountains. They're carrying some wooden box. They're arguing back and forth. And we see what I guess looks like I thought it was a monkey in the box. It is.
That's what it is. Right? That's what they say it is. Yeah.
So
it's a monkey.
It kind of is, but it's eventually, eventually you find out it's more than just a monkey.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Rat
so
monkey.
So you gotta go with the monkey pickup.
Yeah.
So if no pick up the cage, no big dollars. Just telling them, look, man, pick up the damn cage so we can go, or big dollars, bro. Talking to them in that broken English. I mean.
And the guy, his helper's talking in like a Jamaican accent. No man, no one to pick up bad vibes, man.
And then fucking so there, all of a sudden the angry tribesmen, you see, they just kind of appear out of the rocks. They're just there all of a sudden. I was like, what the fuck?
The natives.
So they kind of appear out of nowhere, making demands for the monkey. They said the monkey must be set free. Something about how it exact revenge and more threats. And then the dude pulls out like some documentation, and he's like, "I've got a permit. It's a rubber stamp permit." And he's all holding it in the fucking tribesman's face, and they're like, what the fuck is this ding dong, right? Crazy guy, the tribesman won't back off, so the crazy guy pulls out a fucking Uzi and just kind of fires it over their heads. They all go running down, running up into the mountains and shit, hiding. So these dudes head back on down the hill. Let's see. There's some guys down at the bottom of the ravine. They're like playing baseball, or I'm assuming cricket, right? That's what I thought it was. Yeah, okay. Okay,
cricket.
So playing cricket.
They're playing cricket. Yeah.
Let's see. They're playing cricket. He tells them to fire up the truck, and he's chasing down the tribesmen are chasing down the jeep. Homeboy, the one last dude who's like dude's helper is kind of running behind the jeep. He finally catches that back of the jeep, jumps on. They're chasing the tribes, chasing the jeep. Homeboy climbs in the back. Oh yes, so white guy's good.
Yeah. And then he gets bit by the fucking monkey, and then I can't remember what word they use, but they're like, "You're infected."
So basically, the guy's we see the guy's got a cut in his hand, and then somebody says, "Oh, you got a bite" or whatever, and fucking he falls out of the jeep, and basically these dudes start to chop him up. First is jump off his arm, cut off his arm. he's bleeding all over his arm, and then they look at him and they all say Singaya. And that's it. And then
That's it,
he's all
yeah.
holding his arm, bleeding and screaming. And as he turns over, they see more blood on the other side. And then they're all like, Singaya. And then they go and they chop off his other fucking arm. And then all of a sudden he rolls over and they see blood on his forehead. And motherfucking Singaya. Hey, Louis, I was going to play the clip.
And bye-bye.
Yeah, and he
Bye
just
bye
chops
head.
off his head. Here, I was going to play the clip right here.
The little bugger bit me. Singaya. Singaya! You've got the bait. There's some Dettol in the Jeep. Oh, jeez, no! No! What are you doing? Singaya! Oh, shit!
Oh, so he catches the other arm, and then they notice he got some blood on his forehead.
Uh-oh.
Bam! And then
He's got a little scratchy poo on his head.
So he gets chopped in the
Brain
face because
dead.
he's got the Zingaya all over him, and we get a big splash screen to brain dead, and it says uncut. Now, did you guys watch the hour and 25-minute version or the hour and 43-minute version?
Yes.
Okay.
The hour and 43-minute version was the uncut.
I believe I watched the
That's
theatrical
one that I
release,
watched.
not the
Do you remember how?
not the uncut
Yeah,
one.
this one was
you know,
an
the
hour
hour
and
and
45
40.
minutes. It was fucking. It was long. Really?
Yeah, I don't think I
Man,
watched
you missed
that one,
You missed a lot.
unfortunately.
Karen, you missed a lot. So let's see.
Oh well.
You know, I didn't even
That's
think
the
to
way
mention
she
the two
goes.
versions. And the one I have is kind of jacked. Oh, that was the other thing. Did you guys notice that the audio is overdubbing in the movie? Like, really? Because I
No,
found
mine was fine.
I found two different sources, and they were both
Yeah, I mean,
overdubbed,
so.
and I could hear things that happened in the movie like 60 seconds earlier, like happening in the background of the scene I was watching. It was very distracting.
No, my
I
my
found
copy was good.
I found a clean copy. Actually, I found
Really?
2 clean copies on YouTube. But one of the copies that the one that I watched, it was weird because sometimes the scenes, like the visual, you know, like the camera footage looked like it was
right.
like kind of like
Yeah, it's
washed
like different
out
film stock.
in certain scenes, and giving it kind of like, yeah, it was like they were using some sort of different film stock, or you know,
I think
just
those are
I don't know if
scenes
that
that
was
were
intentional or
I think those are scenes that were cut and re-added to something.
maybe that's
Yeah.
part of the uncut version to kind of represent
Sure.
what wasn't in
Okay,
the
so let's see. So
theatrical
we get his arms chopped off, so we get the big brain dead title card at the beginning. The next thing you know, they're putting the monkey in the back of the truck, giving him some dude walks over, giving him some random wad of cash. Louis, you know what? You can throw the video back up if you want, so I could follow on here too. And they throw the monkey on the United Airlines, and he's off to New Zealand. Yeah. So
New
let's
Zealand.
see.
New Zealand, baby.
Stormy weathers. Music slowly turns into some sort of Lawrence Welk show. You notice the music was very kitschy. It was very odd, man. And let's see.
Yeah, and when they you know the opening credits when they're showing kind of the town around the cars and
They're
shit.
pretty sure
It looked like a
pretty
fucking
sure,
like a model
So
set,
let's
like
see.
not even
Locals
real.
put a
You
nice
know.
truck taking care.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they put a nice truck taking cute little town with a trolley set that is obviously fake. Kiwi bacon, hams, and small goods truck shows
Yep.
up. So they must be New Zealand. We meet Paquita and the delivery guy, Roger. Now, I'd like to mention that my spell check
Paquita.
renamed Paquita many times in the film, and it's very entertaining. So pretty Paquita shows up in her little dress, shows a little bra strap to Roger there. She's obviously in love with Roger. Next thing you know, we cut to some scene
yeah.
after Roger takes off. Paquita's with her creepy gypsy grandmother. I shouldn't say gypsy, I know. And she's reading the tarot cards.
Well,
You
there's
know,
something.
they said something about how they will predict an old man is like a Super Mario brother. Wait a minute, what? The old man, yeah, the old man.
No,
in
the
corner looks
grandfather,
like Super
yeah, or her
Mario.
parent, or her dad.
And he looks like
Yeah.
Super Mario took the day off. That's what it looked like. So the Knight of Swords comes out in the tarot, and it's not Roger. It says there will be romance and it shall last forever. Super Mario does not like any of that. And let's see, somebody should be coming into your life soon. And y'all are gonna, so he's gonna come into your life real soon,
Totally.
and y'all are gonna get it on, and you're gonna recognize him by the symbol of the star. Is that what she says? Okay.
Yeah.
So she
And the
asks
moon.
about the
Star and the moon.
oppression star. Oh yeah, and then
Yeah,
so she lays
yeah,
down the oppression star or something like that, and she asks about that one or the card, and she asks about that one. And the old lady's like, don't worry about that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about there. So
Yeah, no. They
so
got nothing to
Lionel
worry
walks
about.
in.
Hey, no, never mind.
Obviously nervous around Paquita, he's dropping off an order, I guess, for Mom. Let's see. He says something about
Yep, have their groceries delivered.
Don't break the biscuits. You might make some mess. Paquita becomes irritated, and we see pencils and somehow some sort of kind of shape of a star land on the table or some shit like that. And she looks, and it's really
he was grabbing some candy
it's
off
super
the
tacky.
counter or
It's
some
like two
shit.
pencils and then
Yeah,
like
the
a piece
pencils.
of string on top, and it looks like this bullshit.
Some shit.
Some
It looked like
okay.
black licorice or some crap.
It is black.
Is that what it is? Okay, so then
Okay, there we go. We got
spell check says
confirmation.
the bikini wants to jump his bones right there. But he, like immediately,
The bikini.
and, he backs out.
Yeah, she did. She was into him.
You know.
And then the dumb fuck
By a
runs
big
out of the
fucking
store
plastic
and almost
trolley,
gets run down by a fucking trolley.
It'd probably been like getting hit by like a fucking golf cart or something.
He did.
So let's see. What do we got here? So then let's see. So it's 1957, Wellington. So Lionel lives. So Lionel Cosgrove is his name. He lives with his overbearing mother Vera. So now we're at Lionel's. Yeah, gee whiz, beef. We're at Lionel's house where his mother Vera is immediately bossing him around, saying something about how she saw a bug, and she's basically acting like someone you want to strangle to death right out the gate. She's bitching about cleaning the house, something about the frontage is not well maintained. Cut to Lionel's out doing the lawn, and we see the lawnmower, and it's
Another
that
lawnmower
that you're going to see again somewhere in the film. We can only hope. Let's see more again. See.
We can only hope.
See, somehow, and then he gets attacked by like a German Shepherd. His dog comes out of nowhere, right? And it turns out enter Paquita with the box of groceries, and she gives him the googly eyes. She says, "What a big house you live in," and so it's his dog. No, that's her dog. That's right. Yeah, because there's a famous line in the movie that she mentions about.
It's Paquita's dog. Yeah.
So
sure is.
Exactly. So she's
foreshadowing right
there.
there.
My dog, and then they kind of whatever. And she says, she basically
dude's a straight nerd. He's been
Paquita basically invites herself to go
to
the zoo with him because he won't do it. Yeah, because he's not going to do it.
Yeah, it's basically
initiates a date. Go to the zoo. We go to the zoo together tomorrow. She's very, very naive, and she just, that accent is just an offense to a lot of people. We get back in the house, and Vera's bitching about broken flowers or ex-husband. Broken flowers, and they switch to a picture of Lionel's dad, and he looks like Alfred E. Newman. That shit nearly kill you, dude. Oh my God. This is really funny. That was funny as fuck. So she's fake crying for attention, and he sneaks off to the zoo. Next scene, he sneaks off to the zoo with Paquita. Let's see. So we get to the zoo. Paquita and Lionel are running around, just kind of on a date, getting to know one another, sitting on a bench, talking shit, whatever. This is where my spell check said Computer and Lionel are checking out the animals. She acts as if she's on. She acts as if
A
she's on the
computer.
like she's very kind of like, oh, what is that? Oh, grass. Oh, like it's very
Yeah.
odd. She's acting very, and then so
Yep.
Lionel's doing his weirdest
And then they see
impression
the
of Herbert
monkeys.
West. By the way, did
Yeah.
anybody pick up on that? There's a few scenes where he kind of is giving off some Herbert West vibes. I mean, I picked it up quite a few times. So he looks down. Oh yeah, and then he starts having some flashback where he's looking down into some water and he sees a hand coming out of the water or something like that. And then Lionel goes and tells a story about how his dad saved him from drowning.
Yep.
Yep.
And that's why his dad died.
But couldn't save
And
himself.
all of a sudden, Paquita's feeling like she needs to change the subject, and she
Poor
says, "Oh,
dad.
look, monkeys!" Right? So they go taking off to the monkeys, and they're eating an apple, right? They're sharing an apple or something like that. They're enjoying checking out the monkeys. They're goofing around. That's when the Lawrence Welk music comes back in.
Yeah.
And they're playing in the background, looking at each other, very goofy, getting ready to give each other a little peck, and then all of a sudden, bam! They get hit with an apple. So let's see. So they fucking pick up. Who picks somebody?
Yep, the old apple core
picks
nails
up
them.
the apple
Yeah.
core and throws it back into the cage. The monkey goes back to get it and crack! Apollo Creed monkey, which is what I call him right here. And he's just, dude, because you get the sound effect and everything's like, and he fucking hits the monkey flat in the face and knocks him on his ass. Let's see. Here we go. We see, and then here we get a close up of the monkey. I sent you guys that picture earlier from Union City, because I had one in my garage. We sent that picture over. Let's see. So here we see the what is it again? Do you guys remember the rat monkey? Got
A rat monkey.
the Sumatran rat monkey.
The
Rat monkey.
Sumatra.
Yeah, from Sumatra, from Skull Island. Assuming he's saying Skull Island, same
Yeah, I tell
island
you,
that King
I'd stay away
Kong
from that
lived on,
island.
but we never get
Period.
confirmation
But,
on that.
So here's the part where we see just
Yeah.
how vicious the Sumatran rat monkey is, because it basically rips the fucking monkey's arm off or leg or one of the two.
Yeah.
It fucking fucks that dude.
Yeah, he totally,
throws that
completely
monkey's
rips the
fucking
fucking
dead,
monkey's
man.
arm off,
I mean,
and then
he is-
proceeds to eat
he's
it.
like,
He sure did.
Baby's there.
so, let's see. So they're enjoying monkeys. Let's see what that. Where we go?
And then so then everybody's screaming. So fucking the zoo trainer, or
Enter the
janitor,
zookeeper,
whatever he
yeah.
was, guy who works there, comes
Where
up,
the hell have he been,
Mr.
right?
Weirdo
So reckon
himself.
they only found- so then he gives a speech about how.
Reckon they're only found on one island, you know. Story goes, these great big rats come scuttling off the slave ships and raped all the little tree monkeys. You know, the natives use them in black magic rituals.
Really?
Yeah. Don't ask me how. Probably suck the blood of virgins, eh?
Natives
Eh?
using the black magic
I need to
rituals,
sit
something
down.
about sucking the blood of virgins.
Wow.
And Paquita's like, and she fucking walks off.
And when he says "sucking the blood of virgins," he's looking right at Paquita, like
Let's see. So Zuki
baby.
That's where did I go?
Yeah.
Oh, Paquita's sick. So we cut. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she after seeing the
so-
monkey get
And then
killed
we
and
cut
stuff,
to
she's
some
like,
people
I don't
taking
feel
a
so well.
picture, a little
Understandable.
photo
It's
opportunity
understandable.
moment, and that's where we see Vera stick her. Yeah, mom. Vera sticks her head through the thing.
The
Yeah.
mom.
She reaches
Yeah,
back. She
mom's
pulls a shrubbery.
mother's
She's spying
ominous
on
hand
Paquita and
to
Lionel.
push back some shrubbery, and
She slips on a banana
yeah, she's
peel
been
and her hand goes
she's
through
been
the cage
spying
and
on him,
gets bit
obviously.
by,
Yeah,
the rat monkey. And she screams at the top of her lungs so everybody in the fucking zoo can
Like
hear.
good
And
old
everyone
rat
in
monkey.
fucking
Yeah.
England for that matter. New England for that matter. Then she whoops it, and
Well, and immediately when she
yeah,
screams, her son Lionel,
yeah.
he screamed at him so much over
Yeah,
his ears, he
he's
knows exactly who's screaming.
he's
He hasn't seen
traumatized. He's
her.
traumatized.
Just hears her initially, and it's like,
And
oh, that's mom. Yeah.
You guys snapped a shot because it's sad. Let's see. So there's monkey whoops his ass. So yeah. So basically, she crushes. So after the rat monkey bites Vera, she's fucking pissed, and she fucking after she screams and gets everybody's attention, she takes her big old fucking heel and puts it straight through the rat monkey's head. And I gotta be honest, I felt a little bad because it was going to be the last time we were going to see the rat monkey. You know, I knew there was a lot more fun.
Awesome.
There's a lot more fun to be had, but like the rat monkey's exit was kind of not celebrated. Yeah, it was brief. You know, it was.
It was abrupt, and it was. I mean, his appearance in the movie was brief. You know, to say
it was well done. They took the time and put the effort into the effects.
He did die in
the guy comes all the way from Sumatra.
I mean,
you got to pull out all the stops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's see. So let's see.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
At the zookeeper about how he tries to help her. She pushes him away. Lionel can only help me now, and this is where mom's more important than Paquita. And he basically leaves her at the zoo confused and takes off with mom, like a jackass. So then let's see. Next scene we got Vera back. So they're back at the house. Lionel and mom are back at the house. And there is a nurse there who's taking a look at Vera's bite wound. And Bakita with a B. Let's see, Lionel and Bakita. Oily shop. Oh, she says she doesn't like seeing him hanging around that oily shop girl. Is what she. That's what she's. You know, I didn't. It didn't really come across as racist and great line. It does now. Jesus. It does now.
The oily.
I just thought it was quite a mouthful, but no, that is a bit racist. Yeah. So let's. I don't know. And this is where part where I mentioned that I don't know if everybody else is noticing this, but the sound in the movie's all fucked up. Because again, I tried like 3 different video files and it was the same thing. So Lionel says, "Give mom a kiss goodnight," or whatever, and Next thing you know, Paquita's at the window at Lionel's bedroom. There hasn't.
She's head over heels. I mean, she's stalking.
There hasn't been a whole lot of
she's enthralled with
time between them, and all of a sudden she's like literally, like you said, stalking him. She's out on his fucking patio, knocking on his bedroom window. Yeah,
she's infatuated. I mean, that's because of her grandma giving her that prediction with the tarot cards. I'm assuming, and blah blah.
Yep. So let's see. He says, "Get it tomorrow, you stupid ding dong fire."
He's the one, baby. He's the one.
Let's see. So Bikini comes in through the window. And is it just me, or is Paquita getting a little clingy? I mean, they barely know each other. He tells her it's not possible for them to be together, and she tells him that they're entangled. And that's when you need to call the cops. He says, "I can't see you anymore, and get the fuck off my roof." That's a good point. Yeah.
It is 1957. He could have just hit her. You know?
That's how you, insert bad joke here, but we'll do that after.
That's what's the style at the time.
He says, "I can't see you anymore. Fuck off my roof." Paquita, let's see, jumps to her death. No, I'm just kidding. She calls her. He calls her back. You know, he knows he's horny for baby. He's like, I can't do this. I got to get some of this. He calls her back, and they start making out. Next thing you know, we go to this weird thing where, like, mom's having all these weird dreams, and she's having spasms, and her wound is all like fucking pulsating, and then we're cutting back to what I'm assuming is Paquita and Lionel getting it on in his room. Right? Yeah. She's getting infected.
Yeah. I think so. Mom's going through the change for sure.
She's getting infected.
Big time.
Okay.
Big time.
So let's see.
I mean, they kind of implied. They implied it. Yeah.
No, good. What were you saying?
That was like the. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. by them like getting it on, that was like the catalyst for
Sure.
the mom, for Vera, like beginning her transition, because the grandmother, happened to mention that, like, inferred that, like, the love, like, is going to,
Yeah.
speed up
Shit, man.
the process of like the evil of
Okay.
something. I mean, I don't remember the exact lines, but as I watched it, I was like, oh no, that makes hella sense, because it's like, yay, they're getting it
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
and then the
Yeah.
mom and her arms like got like that freaking
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
gross thing throbbing inside, and
Yeah, and all the pus and shit coming out of it. Yeah, it was
yeah,
gross.
and then it just like
That's right. Yeah.
It
Oh,
hit,
yeah, that's
it
right.
hit
It
their
hits
dad in
it hits
right.
Alfred E.
on the
Newman right
side
between his
table.
fucking teeth, right?
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah, the
yeah, that's
goose.
pretty
Yeah,
bad.
I wrote here the goose spews out of Vera's arm onto
Yeah,
Alfred E. Newman's
it
face.
sure did.
Let's see. Next morning, Lionel's whistling. So okay, here we go. Obviously, he got laid. Now, okay. He's tending to her wounds. Doesn't look good. It's pulsating. She's not doing too well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you go get stitches?
It's
Get
fucking
stitches or
visibly
something like
open.
that,
I
right?
mean, it's like a
Yeah.
huge, I mean,
Yeah, it's grueling. I mean, this is where
might want to hack
like
that
he's
thing
trying
off.
to
Smell it.
clean it. This
Grueling
is
though,
where you
like
see like Peter Jackson. I
that thing
mean,
had
I
a
don't
life
know
of
if
its
you guys have
own,
seen some
man.
of the other
Yeah.
early Peter Jackson movies, but they're basically just gross out. It's just like, how hard can I gross you out? Literally. Yeah. 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 So
Yeah,
she's
it was
going to the
it was cringy,
doctor.
especially the
Let's
next
see,
scene
the
we're coming up to.
doorbell
That was
rings. Cut to the
yeah.
foyer. They have guests, and it's Nora and Mr. Matheson. Let's see. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So she had been elected as treasurer to the some
So
women's
let's see.
committee there, and
Vera
these
all
are
of
the
a
people
sudden
coming
jumps out
over
of
to
bed and
have
jumps in
lunch and
front of her vanity.
congratulate
She's
her
trying
and
to
some
put her
shit.
fucking face together. It's too late for all that shit. Yeah. Yeah. She says it's the W.
Yeah. She rips off a piece of her cheek.
Yeah, it comes
So
off like
Lionel glues back. Oh, so the organization was the
And then Son
WLWL,
Lionel
whatever
fucking
that
glues
stands
it
for.
back on.
Okay. There you go. So let's see. He's got a super
That's
glue.
it, yeah.
He super
It
glues her
was
sheet
Women's
back
League of
on. Someone gets to the dining room
bullshit.
table, and they're all sitting there. Everybody's Mira's hands are shaking as she's trying to eat whatever the fuck they're eating. And they're talking about the younger generation. Mom's trying to talk, but she's not really making a whole lot of sense. She's just kind of like making noises and shit. Yeah, she's in a bad way. Yeah.
Yeah, she's not.
And
She's
the
in a
funny
bad
part,
way.
all of a sudden,
at
this
that
dude
point. She's,
slams his fist down on the table.
full on
War!
effect of
We need
go
more
through the change
war!
there.
You know, like just out of the fucking blue, right? Let's see. So you know what?
Yeah, we need more.
Let's take one quick break here and pause. Okay, we'll be right back.
Yeah,
That's when Andy Dufresne discovered the Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Rated R. Under 17, not admitted without parent.
All right, and welcome back to the show. So let's see, where were we? Let me move this thing out of the way. It's always in the way. All right, so where were we? We were at the table there. So yeah, they're eating dinner basically, or excuse me, they're having lunch with the Mathesons or whatever it is. And this is the part where everybody basically gets kind of grossed out. He says, oh, he slams his hand on the table. He says, we need more war. Let's see. And at this point, we get the scene where Mom squirts goo over into Mr. Matheson's bowl.
Pudding bowl.
Yeah, because they were getting ready to leave basically, and he goes, "Wait, no pudding, right?" And so
yeah, no dessert.
no dessert,
no
right.
dessert.
So they haven't come out with the dessert, and at this point, Mom purposely shoots the goo over into his bowl of porridge there, whatever it is, and he continues to eat. Let's see.
Oh, he stirs that shit in and enjoys it, man.
Yeah, he's loving it. He's loving it.
He enjoyed that shit.
I mean, Mr. Matheson likes a free meal for sure. Let's see. So Makita now called her Makita. Makita.
Oh, Makita. Yeah.
The rest.
Makita.
Or Nikita, yeah, like La Flemme Nikita,
Great danger.
It was Makita, like the tools.
or like the Tool,
Yeah.
yeah, Bakita. Oh.
So we get to the scene where we get to the scene after, see, now I'm confused. You wanna,
See, after
yeah,
what's his name? Fucking eat the bowl of pudding with her goo in it
yeah,
and shit. Then her ear falls off
there
into
you
her
go.
bowl, and Vera's mom, or uh, ear falls off into her bowl of pudding, and she proceeds to eat the pudding in her ear. And yeah, it's pretty gross. And at this point, nobody at the table has realized
Yeah, that mom's
really
mom's not doing too well.
that this is going on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that she's not doing too well.
And she basically reaches down, sticks a spoon in there, and basically eats her own ear. And everybody gets grossed out. And
Yeah.
Mrs. Matheson says it's time to go, and they're up and are out the door.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
It was pretty
bad.
fucking disgusting. Let's see. So,
But it was great.
at this point, so what happens right after that? Let's see. Apparently, it's Lana's cleaning up the mess, and randomly Paquita. Oh, so Lana's in the house, and randomly Paquita just bursts into the room. And she's rambling something about dark forces are working against you, and the tarot lady said this, that, and the other thing. And then did they hear the dog whining or something or barking? And they are
Something like that,
alerted to Vera's room, or they're alerted to wherever Vera is in the house, and they find Vera, and she has what appears to be some hair sticking out of her mouth, and
It's like the big hairball
yeah,
ever. Like
yeah.
a cat hairball.
And basically, what we figure out, Lionel goes over there, and it's like, "Mom, no, what did you do?" And he basically starts pulling on this hairball, and he pulls out just basically about what 2.5 feet of a dog tail, more or less.
I get, yeah, something, however long that dog tail was down her throat.
Yeah. And she basically, and this is when Paquita screams out, "Your mom ate my dog," which I thought
You murdered my fucking dog.
I thought that was fucking hilarious, man.
I thought that scene was funny
Yeah.
because he goes like Lionel goes and he pulls like at the end of the tail. Well, we figure out it's the tail. He pulls at the end of it, pulls the dog out, and then Paquita's freaking out, and then it pans over to the right, and you see the bed, and it's like there's hella blood and guts all over the bed.
And Paquita says, your mom ate my dog," and he goes back at her and says, "Well, not all of it." I mean, what the fuck?
That's fucking awesome. Yeah. So then Mom jumps up, right, and this is where she attacks Lionel, and they go rolling down the stairs, right? And he's trying to fucking subdue her and shit like that. See, Paquita goes to get the nurse. Mom looks terrible, and then at some point it looks like Mom dies, right?
Well, yeah, they're at the bottom of the steps, and he's like, "Call the nurse, call the hospital, or whatever," and to Paquita, and then Mom, passes away, and then the nurse shows up.
Yeah. So then, but nurse shows up, and Vera wakes up and starts fucking ripping off her face, right?
Oh, well, she's a zombie, man.
Yeah.
She's the undead.
Yeah. So she throws Lionel across the room, and the stereo turns on, and Mom's chasing Paquita around, the nurse around. The nurse, all of a sudden now the nurse is a zombie. And Lionel comes up and fucking smacks her head backwards, and her shit goes like fucking full 180. And I like how these corpses, they seem to rot pretty instantly. Like it's
it was pretty. It was pretty instantaneous.
Right. I mean,
He turned her into a Pez dispenser.
Yeah. There
bro.
you go.
Yes,
Good call. So let's see. Taking up on nourishment, briefcase. So something about she hands. They're getting ready to take Vera to the hospital, and Paquita goes to get a bag ready. She comes back and hands Lionel like a briefcase or some shit. Lionel's having a breakdown, fucking freaking out. And then,
well, he's since thrown both the mom, Vera, and the nurse into the basement, and locked the door because they're both
into the basement.
Yeah. And he's like, and Paquita says, "Where's your mom?" He said, "Oh, the ambulance already came and got her in the 60 seconds she was up in the bathroom getting her shit together."
There you go. So let's see. Oh, by the way, it's Nurse McTavish is her name. Somehow I can't.
Nurse.
Yeah. So let's see. So at some point we see Lionel goes to a what looks like a taxidermist, but I guess turns out to be a veterinarian. And gets what does it say on the tranquilizers on the bottle? He gets a big 2-gallon jug of tranquilizers. And the dude's super creepy. He looks like some fucking guy from the SS or German army or some shit like that. He's very, very.
He's definitely when Lionel's knocking on his door or somebody else comes knocks on his door. He says, "I lost my papers," you know,
yeah. He looks like someone who was probably hiding.
Are you immigration?
Yeah,
I lost my
He looks like
papers.
someone who was probably SS and then went in hiding after the war or something like that, right? In New Zealand,
Yeah, that's the vibe I got for sure.
So let's see. Nurse comes out of nowhere. Vera comes out of nowhere, and Lionel stabs her. Oh, so the nurse comes out of nowhere, tries to attack Vera, I think, or tries to attack Lionel, and he shoves the syringe up her nose.
Yeah, the big old with all the tranquilizer. The fucking doctor gave him like a 5-gallon glass jug of tranquilizer. Like,
it just says tranquilizers.
Yeah. He hit her in the eye first.
What's that?
Yep.
He hit her in the eye first, and then the second time he hit through the nose.
I don't remember that.
With the tranquilizer.
Maybe we should just run the movie in the background. Shit, I don't know. I'm confused. But anyway, so the tarot card marks he's supposed to abstain. Oh yeah, so at some point Lionel, Vera comes flying through the stained glass windows. Lionel and the old lady have a stare down. She has some ugly piece of jewelry. Something about the white light will protect you, and she hands him that amulet or whatever the fuck it is. Let's see.
Star. Yeah, it's like a star and a moon. It looks
like a prop from an old Conan movie or some shit. To be honest with you. And then we get a quick scene of the fake trolleys. So let's see. There's more tranquilizers to the nose. So enter Lionel's creepy ass uncle. Does anybody catch his name? What was it?
What was his name? But you know who he reminded me of was Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. The way he looked.
Yeah.
Ricky.
Yeah. So he shows up.
Yeah. So he's
Go ahead.
Uncle Les.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, Uncle.
Yeah.
Uncle
So
Les.
he
was pretty great. He was pretty great. And pretty
he was
disgusting.
very sure of himself in a lot of ways. And here's where we find out when he asks Paquita what her name is. He says Paquita Maria Sanchez. And so let's see. And then we get back to there's some thing. Lionel's doing. Lionel's doing his Herbert West impression. Let's see. Green fluid. She explodes. So now we're at the mortuary. Mom's being filled with green fluid. She explodes everywhere. And at some point they realize that the show must go on. And the old man just pops her eyes back into her head and he says, "We're going to get this thing. We're going to get her out there one way or the other, buddy." So Paquita says,
the foot.
Let's see.
No, go ahead.
So Lionel comes. So Lionel's uncle shows up in the fucking church and sits right behind Paquita. He's that fucking acting all fucking weird. Paquita says something to him in Spanish, and after he asks her out for drinks or whatever. And then we come. Yeah,
he's a creep.
We cut to Lionel. I guess Lionel's decided he's going to go ahead and get his mom the hell out of there. So he unscrews the casket and he administers some tranquilizer to her ass. The fight begins, and these kind of Looney Tunes scenes for me, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. They fight and then go crashing through the glass door or whatever, right into the service. And one of the people say he was very fond of his mother.
So basically, long story short, he ends up, looking like he's got some detachment issues because his mother just passed away, and he's basically laying there in front of a room full of people in a fucking church, holding on to his dead mother's body. It's not a good look, Lionel. It's not a good look, buddy. So let's see.
No.
So then we cut to they're at the Vera's grave, and Lionel goes to so they end up burying her. So Lionel goes to the graveyard to dig up his mom because he's basically just trying to get her the hell out of the funeral. So
because that's what everybody does.
And then so these guys that look like they're straight extras out of Laverne and Shirley show up and start hassling fucking Lionel. They're all like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing around here?" Yeah, they're street toughs. They're kind of like, they look like, I don't know. You guys ever watch that show, Cat Dog? You remember the tough guys? They just walk around with leather jackets and shit. Yeah. Anyway,
I got the Clash. I got the Clash.
Yeah, there you go.
The band, the Clash, the way they used to dress. They were no Joe
So
Strummer.
they go something about somebody says something about macrophiliacs is what they called Lionel. Did you guys hear that? I don't know. So they all start acting like a bunch of bingos, is what I like to say.
Yeah. So like that guy, so the gangster guy, his name is Void. Okay, so he comes up with his gang, and then like while Lionel's at the at the gravesite, like digging up his mom, they're like, oh yeah, like what do we have here? You know what I mean? Oh, this guy's a sicko. This guy's a necrophiliac.
Okay. Oh, necrophiliac.
He likes
pick up on that.
fiddle with dead bodies, and then
and then the main guy goes to take a piss on his dead mother's grave and proceeds
and his urine is extremely yellow, and he might want to see it. I'd see a
It
doctor
was
about that. Yeah,
I saw that
urine's
too.
not supposed to look like Coca-Cola, bro.
He had some hydration problems.
Or he just took his daily
or that.
I guess there's that too. But basically, Vera is not having any of it. She reaches straight up through the ground and grabs fucking. What did you say his name was? By the nuts. What's it? Void? There you go.
Void.
So let's see.
Void.
So,
Void.
Yeah, he gets yanked down by his dick and basically gets killed to death.
She eviscerates his body more or less, and then
in a very bloody, awesome,
then shoots and
bloody
throws
scene.
him about fucking 50 feet away. At this point, she goes to finish him off. Now we get the reanimated zombie guys come into the scene, and here we have Super Priest or Kung Fu Priest. Make your pick. I mean, he was awesome. I mean, what was his name?
He was fantastic.
Father Magruder.
Father Magruder.
I'm calling him Kung Fu Priest.
Magruder.
So, I mean, long story short, Kung Fu Priest is just badass. I mean, he fucking kicks everybody's ass.
He's savage, dude.
Oh man, he Jean-Claude Van Damme's and the shit out of him, dude. I mean, it's great. Yeah.
Where the hell is
pretty
it?
fantastic.
I don't see it. So he's getting backed up, right?
There
Here
we
comes
go.
the gang. And boom.
Evil is amongst us. Stay back, boy. This calls for divine intervention.
This fucking purple robe, man. These look slick.
Not too bad. And then mom gets another syringe to the nose.
And I'm assuming that he always goes for the nose because it just goes straight to the brain, right? Quickest reaction. It's science whole thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but this guy, I mean, he's got some Bruce Lee moves.
Yeah,
Bruce Lee might be envious of this guy, really.
But
He crosses over, spinning back kick.
And it fucking rips off dude's arm.
Yeah,
That's pretty awesome. So anyway,
and then hits him with it.
Face
of
kick.
course. And then the old kick, I don't know what you call that.
Yeah, no, he's obviously
awesome.
well trained. Rips the other dude. Again, these corpses rot very quickly. I mean, you could just rip them apart within minutes. You know, it doesn't seem that dangerous to me.
Yeah.
Damn, that was the move right there.
And then he
did the roundhouse kick and just straight knocked his lower half off. That was badass. That was awesome. So
sure did. Oh, but he knocks him dead off and it lands on his shoulder.
Up.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, I mean, the priest is going to go out with some style right here, right? That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, he falls right on this
statue
right on a statue holding a finger up. Bye.
Lionel's making so then we cut to the next scene. Lionel's making mac and cheese with tranquilizer. And
he's mixing it in.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see the scene because they don't show it, but he proceeds to lure and or subdue
Yeah.
these, street
Yeah,
cuts
we
and his
just you
mom
have
and
to
everything
you have to
back to his
suspend dis
place.
you have to
You know, and
suspend disbelief at this point. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
suspend
so yeah,
this.
we're basically
Yeah,
there's a dining
for
room full of
sure.
zombies,
For
and
your
he's running
belief.
around teaching them how to eat. It's all very silly. There's where we notice that there's some chemistry between the nurse and the priest. There's some little hand action under the there's some hand action under the table. I remember the first
Oh
time I saw this
yeah.
movie, I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, "What? Get the fuck out of here! The zombies are gonna..." And sure enough, they did. They did. I was like, "That's silly," but they did. Man. So the zombies are basically
That was
all
hella
acting like
funny.
children as he's trying to feed them. Let's see, Ding Dong Uncle and the douchebags at the door. Let's see, taking a piss poor Ding Dong. Let's see. So we got a real close up of Uncle Douchebag, covered in cold sores. Really kind of gross as they get. That's whatever
Yeah,
that
he's
shit
got some
is.
fucked
Yeah,
up sores on
and
his
he hears.
face, man.
God,
Yeah. Well, I think earlier, is this the scene where he says, "Let me in. I got a urinary
I think
tract
something like
infection
yeah,
that's
yeah.
killing me.
Oh
I got to
yeah, that's
use the
exactly what he says.
bathroom."
Yeah, yeah. He's got a
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, he goes
yeah,
and
that's right. That's where we get the
takes a
we
pee.
basically get like a shot right from the toilet up at his face or something like that, more or less. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was fucking disgusting. That's
Something
one
like
thing.
that.
Again,
Yeah.
Peter
Yeah.
Jackson's really trying to gross everybody out. It man, oh my god. So
It worked.
and then he hears noises coming from the
Yeah.
garage, and then he thinks, oh, that Lionel found his dad's old stag films, right? And he's listening, and he's got his ear up against the
Stag tapes.
door, and there's
Yeah,
all kinds of
stag
noises.
films.
And he looks at Lionel and he says, "Is this the one with the donkey and the chambermaid?" Oh my god, that
Yeah,
shit
he
was
sure
fucking
did.
so
I
goddamn
guess he had
funny,
seen a
dude.
few of them.
So
Yeah. Yeah. But then we find out it is not the stag films as we already knew. It
going
is
at
the
it, yeah,
priest and the nurse
zombie priest and
going
nurse
at
going
it.
at it. So let's see. Lionel's back in the dining room, and the priest and them are getting it on. Yeah. So let's see. So then the zombie horde builds. You know, I mean, there's basically we get Lionel's hiding in the car. Paquita, she steps in the street, almost gets hit by a car. Lionel was buying another jug of tranquilizer as he's slinking through the streets, trying to tell Paquita to leave him alone. It was a mistake and all this. And let's see. At this point, the what's his name shows up. The milkman Roger shows up and punches Lionel in the face. Right? He's hassling her.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And
He thinks
she's
he's
hassling
hassling
him,
her, and
and she's basically hassling him,
to
right?
be
More
the
or
white
less.
knight.
So then,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and he,
yeah. Because he had broken off with her, even
yeah,
though
yeah.
they had
So then
known
we
each other
get.
for 2 days or whatever.
So he calls him a real bloody weirdo, is what he calls him, which is a sample you'll hear on the show later on.
You know what they're saying about you, don't you? You've got funny in the head. A real bloody weirdo. Touch her again and I'll knock you into the middle of next week.
Oh, it was a mistake. Gets back to the basement, and hand comes flying through the speaker of the radio, and we discover there's a zombie baby. And that fucking zombie baby's fucked up looking, man.
It looks like
there
a
you go.
baby sloth from the
There you
Goonies.
go. I might have to do it. You know, I might have to make a side by side. I'll see about that. I'll see about that. You know what? Yeah, okay. I got one. Okay. So anyway, so let's see. The baby's fantastic. The baby's
the
like
the
lunging at
baby's
Lionel. He's
fantastic.
fighting
Yeah,
it
the
off
baby's pretty
after
great.
all this bullshit back. Oh man! You know what? You know what, Eddie? At first I was like, I need to sample that from the movie, but I think I'm just going to sample you doing it. I think I'll just sample your voice.
That shit was hella funny.
So yeah. So long story short, Lionel slams. He's fucking on the baby, and that's the end of the baby for now. Let's see. So at this point, we head to the park, right? Is that?
Oh yeah, he's got the screens thrown out, and he's
Yeah.
headed to the old playground to go mingle with all the other young mothers and stuff.
Lionel
Yeah.
feels it's necessary to nurture this baby somehow. So he takes it to the park for some exposure, maybe to hang out with some of the other kids. And there's a lot of pratfall here, right? I mean, it's kind of silly. It's very fucking silly.
Oh, it's very silly. I
It's
mean, at one
yeah.
point the stroller goes rolling down the hill, of
I
course,
mean,
with
Lionel.
baby in said stroller, and our hero Lionel is chasing after it and tripping and falling on
It's like a
everything and
fucking
that you could
goddamn
ever fall
skit.
on.
It's a Monty Python scene or some shit, man. Quite literally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Or Benny Hill. They could have
Yeah,
played
so
whatever
fucking
that.
he's running around with the fucking baby. The stroller goes running down the hill through a picnic. He lands on the so the baby's coming across the seesaw. He lands on the back of the seesaw. The baby goes flying, lands on the roof. Knocks over, and he comes rolling off and knocks over a bicyclist or something like that. And here comes Chris Pratfall, is what I call Lionel during the scene. Zombie baby goes after some kid. Lionel grabs him right before he attacks this little girl who's like, huh? That shit is fucking crazy, man. And he fights it out with the baby and manages to get it in his bag
Yeah.
and kind of leaves the park, right?
Yeah, he's visibly beating on this baby as these other two women are watching.
That baby's a business.
By its legs and fucking slams its head
Yeah.
into the ground a few times and punches it.
And then fucking
punching it in the
this
face.
is the other thing I noticed. So
I mean, yeah, it's pretty
we
great.
get to a
It's
scene
pretty
where we
great.
see Roger and Paquita, right, walking around. And did you guys notice that every time they showed Roger and Paquita, Roger's talking about soccer? Oh, okay.
No. It's talking about rugby.
Yeah,
Rugby.
yeah. But it's like
But
every time they.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, he spends his whole time talking about himself and how well he's played in his rugby games and I did this, I did
she's
that.
just like this fucking.
And she looks totally
and
enthralled.
fucking, and at this point, aren't they like walking past Lionel's house or something like that? And she needs to go inside, right?
Yeah, I mean, she sees him, or they pass each other on the street, some shit, right?
And then she's looking back at him while she's with Roger.
Okay.
Mm.
So okay, so then, so then Lionel, so Uncle Douchebag shows up. Uncle Douchebag shows up and immediately starts in with the blackmail. Let's see.
Oh yeah, he had been promised some stuff because apparently, I mean, that's another thing. When you first see their house at the beginning of the movie, it's visible that it's like not only on top of the hill, so usually that would mean you'd have some money, but it's the largest house.
Yeah, I mean that
in the town or whatever. So they got some
the
dough.
foyer and everything.
They got
It's a
some
beautiful
dough.
piece of land there. But
Yes, no doubt. So Uncle Fuckhead.
Yeah,
wants
he's
his
like,
cut,
I don't know if
and
you
he
knew
wants
this, but
his
Mom was
pie,
always talking
basically.
about leaving me a piece or whatever, and it's like, get the fuck out of here, that bullshit. So anyway, fucking douchebag. Let's see.
Yeah.
So Uncle Douchebag, as part of his blackmail, he gets on the phone. He's going to blackmail him. He's about to call the cops and this and that. Lionel says, "Look, Ben, I'll give you the money and the house, whatever." And Uncle Douchebag fucks off. And Lionel's just trying to get him the fuck out of there for the time being because he needs to get back downstairs. He's downstairs in the basement trying to chill out the zombies. There's some, again, weird music playing during the scene. Very odd. I'd like to get some of this music on tape or on MP3. And then at this point, we get the zombies start dancing.
Yeah, they were doing something down there because he was constantly playing the radio
people
for him.
line his front door all of a sudden with boxes of beers, and turns out Uncle Douchebag decided that he was going to throw a housewarming party in his sister's house who just died like 2 days earlier.
A housewarming party of epic proportions. I mean, I would have been at this party. I mean, it looked like fun. Looked like a good time. Booze and all kinds of things.
Well, that's all Uncle Les is doing, because after he tries to blackmail Lionel, like, hey, I'm gonna call the cops. I'm gonna tell them everything unless you sign over the house and blah blah blah. And then Lionel just kind of plays into it.
Yeah, I mean that happened like
boom, party all of a sudden.
Yeah. So yeah, you said it's Les, right? LES. Yeah. Okay. So Les hosts a party. Lionel mysteriously gives zombies a
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, so then this is the part where let's see, the whole town. So this is the part where like Lionel's in the basement and he decides to give Mom poison, or am I jumping the gun here?
Oh no, yeah. He's gonna poison all of them, you know, and
Yeah,
and
so
he
right,
does.
so
He
we
does.
think
So
he
we
does,
think.
and then all of a sudden some zombies are banging at the door, and some drunken idiot who's at the party wanders over and opens the door, and gets headbutted by one of the gang member zombies who comes flying through the door and into the party. Let's see, we got Uncle Douchebags talking shit about Lionel's father. And then Lionel gets all pissed because I guess his dad's pretty sacred to him. Don't be talking about my father and all this stuff. Lionel, I guess he gets thrown against the wall
Yeah,
by some
right.
hot blonde chick who, you know, I mean, there was an opportunity right there. I mean, she was not a bad looking woman at all if you think about it. But he's too busy trying to deal with the party.
Yeah.
We see Roger and Paquita out walking again, and he's still talking about rugby. And he gets to the, we see that Paquita's not paying attention to him. He keeps walking by. Zombies are going crazy at the party, terrorizing everybody. Let's see. What do we see? I get lost here because this is where it got really messy. I mean, as far as taking notes, I mean, this was impossible. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, that's about to happen. Yeah. But basically,
Yeah.
I mean, basically, Paquita goes to the house, right? And
so she comes
and
in,
she stumbles upon
Lionel.
the
Where is
zombies,
Lionel at this point?
you know, and
He's in the basement.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
he's still downstairs,
So
I
she
think,
wanders
right in the
assuming
basement. Yeah.
she's looking for Lionel and runs into Dr. Douchebag or his Uncle Douchebag. And he's trying to get it on with her, and she groins him, knees him in the groin. He basically, I was just gonna say,
He's full on. He full on tries to rape her. I mean,
and so
yeah. And prior to that, though, we had seen when Lionel gives what he thinks is poison to his mother, the jar rolls back over, the glass jar, medicine jar, and it says poison, rolls over, and then it says animal stimulants. So he's just shot up his zombie mother with liquid speed, basically, and amphetamine, and buried her.
yeah, right.
But,
So
you know,
she runs into Lionel
something bad's
downstairs,
gonna
and the
happen
zombie
now.
goes after Paquita, and he hits him in the head with a rake. And then takes the handle from the rake and puts it in a vice grip. It's all very ingenious, you know, inventive, you know. And that's when Lionel explains the situation. We have a moment of tenderness, and but they know that he knows he needs to finish off his mom, like you were saying. That's when they hit him with the rat. What is it? What did you say it was? It's called animal stimulants. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, animal stimulants.
That was what the point I made, was that he thinks he's poisoning these zombies. So apparently he thinks that you can kill zombies with poison, which is a new theory. And you don't tell George Romero about that because he wouldn't be too happy about that.
Apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. So yeah.
Well,
exactly.
it didn't work. So.
So yeah, he always needs to put the syringe up their nose. Let's see, nearest to the brain, I guess. So then, so he goes on killing the rest of the undead in the garage, and he buries everybody in the basement. We're back upstairs, and Uncle Douchebag throws Makita against the wall, and Lionel pops one in on him, attacks him like a bull, throws him into the basement, and locks the door behind him. So basically, Lionel's now stuck in the basement. Grabs Paquita by the fucking hair when nobody's noticing, and then let's see. I don't see there's not poison. All right, so let's see. See, this is where my notes got all jacked up because there's so goddamn much going on here. So yeah, the fucking babies. Go.
Well, and then
the party's going.
Basically,
the
the party
around,
really
the
gets
baby's
going.
flying around, right?
Is where we're at now. I mean, yeah. They all get loose from the basement, and now they have 100 people to feed on in this house, and they go to work. They go to work big time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there were some really good deaths. The one dude got his
All
whole
the
face
jump-
ripped off. That was pretty awesome.
So zombies are headed up the stairs
you
at
know,
some point.
yeah,
Lionel,
some
after
good
Lionel,
stuff.
he holds up his weird sword sorcery amulet, and all of a sudden the door opens. Some drunk lets him out, and then the door gets smashed by the zombies. Let's see. And we get a real cool scene where a guy gets, the zombie reaches down and rips the dude's rib cage right out of his chest. You remember that? That was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty neat.
Yeah, yeah. And another dude gets punched
head.
from the back of the
Yeah,
head,
that was cool.
and the fist goes through his head and comes out of his mouth.
Dude gets
Yeah,
ripped
that's pretty
his
great.
head off.
Yeah.
The screaming skull lady.
Pretty great.
Let's see. Gangster dude shows his hand. Somebody punches his stomach, rips out there from their belly. Let's see. Yeah, it's just zombies trying to kill the douchebag. Stab a zombie fucking zombie. All right, I'm getting lost. Louie, pick it up. Aren't you watching the movie on your end? Yeah. Yeah, there's
We're about to get lost in this shit. There's so much shit going on.
I mean, we can just fly, kind of fly through it. There's another death when they're hiding in the kitchen, and one of the party goers ladies gets thrown into a light bulb.
And she's kind of in and out of the movie for the rest of the movie. You keep cutting back to the light bulb lady, which I thought was pretty cool. And she even kind of pays off towards the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a lot of madness. And at this point, we get what's his name? Uncle Les is running around now fighting off these zombies, and like he's just not having it. He's gonna do whatever it takes to fucking kill these people. We see him in the front lawn with the fucking garden gnome, and he's basically just he's fighting off zombies left and right. And as soon as you see the gnome, you know he's gonna stick it in somebody's head, and they're gonna be a zombie walking around with a fucking garden gnome head, which is exactly what fucking happened. I mean, that's exactly the way it goes down. And then we get something in the house with a dumb waiter
exactly what
ripping
happens,
people in half, and Lionel's trying to get in and out or whatever. There's just you see zombies are everywhere.
Yeah,
Lionel's
there's just so
running.
much going on. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, the baby's flying around the room.
And the baby's going nuts. The baby's crawling around.
What were you saying?
And yeah,
For
at
as
one
much as
point,
like,
oh, go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie.
I was just gonna say, like, for as quick as these zombies deteriorate, they're like also extremely strong. Like, they just like take somebody who hasn't even like necessarily turned yet, and then next thing you know, they're like ripping there's a kid and they rip his face off. Like they throw him on the ground and they just rip his face off.
Yeah,
like,
well, I mean,
wait a minute, that's like fresh meat,
when the fucking kung fu
damn,
priest,
they can
like fucking roundhouse kicks a dude and chops him in half, and I was like, okay, then. That was a bit much, man. So yeah, let's see. So
yeah, that was. So yeah, at some point, Lionel makes it up to the attic.
There's a scene when Uncle Douchebag gets stuck in the garden house or whatever, and he runs into the priest, and for some reason he decides to start ripping out his teeth.
Oh, that's right.
That was pretty fucking random. Yeah. I was like,
looks like you got a cavity here, mate.
It was fun. It moves the story along. It was a development.
It was good. Moved the story along.
So yeah, basically, long story short, they get fucking chased all the way up to the top of the house, right? Let's see, catches it, and he is. Lionel's up in the attic with his amulet, and then so at this point, Paquita and everybody's downstairs, like fighting off zombies. And Lionel decides to have a moment of memories with the box of memories in the attic. And there's like background music, and he's having flashbacks. He's looking at pictures, and his fucking goddamn wedding dress in there. And then he picks up the wedding dress, and there's a fucking goddamn skeleton in the wedding dress, or in the box.
Yep.
And then at this point, let's see.
Yeah, goddamn skeleton. Yep. Well, then he's getting chased by what I can only describe, and this is the way they do it. It's somebody's intestines. Like it's an asshole. There's a liver, a kidney, and the small and large intestines that have now is alive, with no body or nothing, but can move
and
and
if you
see
notice
and
when they
think and shit.
introduce that,
And
say,
he's getting chased
character,
down by this fucking thing.
there's a little zoom in on it, and it lets out a little poof, like it just farted to let you know,
Yeah.
like I'm here, yeah.
Yeah, it farted out of his
So this
asshole.
thing basically,
That's
he wants
great.
Lionel big time. I mean, he doesn't give up that intestines. Yeah. So, like I said, at this point, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This is like a bloody
he's
fucking
after
Monty
him.
Python
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah.
There's just so much shit going on. People going in and out of doors. People flying around the room. That baby literally just keeps popping up everywhere. I mean, it just does not stop. We keep cutting back to Paquita and the light bulb lady with the one chick from the party that somehow managed to make it. Remember? Yeah. When they're held up in the kitchen, right? Yeah, okay. So, and then
Yep,
what's his name?
they're
Uncle
kitchen.
Douchebag
Yeah.
comes through the window,
Yep.
like let me in.
Yeah.
The garden shed. Yeah.
No, he's now out of the shed in the garden shed, and is now being chased by a mob of zombies, and they've boarded or closed up the windows, and now he's screaming to let them in, and like idiots they do, of course. Yeah.
Too many.
And then he's trying, because the other girl that Paquita's held up with in the kitchen got bit, but it's not too bad.
And
But he
after
immediately
all
sees
this,
that and wants to,
and so after
wants to take her out as
Lionel
well.
basically has his moments of
Paquita
reflection in the attic. All of a sudden, the door to the basement pops open, and Lionel's there with the lawnmower.
Yeah, well, yeah. So what? He
That's
fell
what it
through the ceiling, right? And he's
intestines.
held on by some of the electrical cord, and then the intestine comes down after him and fucks with him for a while, and then and he gets away, and then he comes in through the front door in grandioso fashion, hero style, with the lawnmower tied a rope around it, so it's around his
And he basically,
shoulders.
so he goes and
And we have
lawn mows his way
a
straight
lawnmower
through
massacre.
the first center section of the zombies. And you notice how he stops and like almost takes a step to the side to like mow the next section, like he's doing his front lawn, Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking pretty classic, man. So
like
he's working.
Yeah, like he's mowing the lawn. Yeah, that was pretty great.
Just shit everywhere.
I mean, and the blood, the blood.
And
in
at
these
this
scenes
point,
is just, I mean, there's gallons and gallons and
at
gallons.
This point,
yeah.
Fucking everywhere. And at this point, Lionel fucking
Gratuitous
he
blood.
embraces the moment.
Yeah,
He
no
fucking
kidding.
goes mad. Like it's well, but he goes a little insane. He's a little batty.
Oh, he heroes this shit.
He's done snapped at the end, I think.
Oh well, yeah, I guess. Well, I mean,
yeah.
Well, when there's that many
I've seen The
zombies,
Walking Dead.
I guess you're allowed a little mental lapse or whatever.
So the motherfucking giant lawnmower scene just goes on and on. He's fucking people up, and we kind of cut back and forth to the light bulb lady and Paquita in the other room, right? And then at some point, they're trying to get away, and the lady falls on the floor, and we get this right here. I say this one for Eddie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Baby rips through her fucking head, dude.
Light bulb lady fucking has had enough.
And he's all smiles too, the baby.
That's fucking great, man.
She's having himself a good time.
And she's fucking hard for doing that, boy.
Yeah. It was great.
Dude, she's hard for that, man. That's badass. And the intestines were about to
Yeah,
get
she pulled off the gas.
gas.
Yeah, the gas, like a meter on the gas or whatever.
But yeah, so the gore marathon goes on and on and on. So let's see. At some point, this scene's got. I took so many notes, Eric. I'm gonna have to work on this, man. Like you can't even see what I'm scrolling through over here. I'm bouncing through shit.
Well, basically, kind of all what we, that all went on.
So mom comes out of the basement, right?
She's down basically, the next big thing is Mama's coming back.
And she got a big old fucking Kim
Yeah,
Kardashian.
Mama comes out of the basement naked with these huge, giant, gross
right.
titties.
Yeah, her
and,
hands are just fucking
and it's
ginormous.
now like
yeah, she fucks
yeah,
up.
now it's like
She
15
fucks up
feet
Uncle
tall.
Les right before
not
that,
to
right
mention.
before she comes out of the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She rips his fucking head and like she predators
so
him
she heads
basically.
upstairs
She pulls
and
his head
fucking,
and his whole spinal cord out of his
she's
body.
running, like you said, with her
pretty great.
gigantic fucking hooters and her big old Kim Kardashian booty. She chases Lionel and Paquita up the stairs, right? Yeah. They end up on the roof, and Mom's up on the roof, and like
and Paquita, yeah, and they end up on the roof and shit.
What happens here again?
Yeah, they're trying to get away, you know, and they find like a piece of steel coil or whatever or electrical line that's connected to the house from a telephone pole or something. And they, you would think, okay, we're gonna slide down this motherfucker to get away, off the roof. But Mama
Lionel steps in. He says, "Get away from her!" And I swear to God, they're trying to pull it from. That's from Alien or Aliens. I think, like, get away, get away from her, you bitch. Because I think it came out like around the exact same time. Yeah.
Get away from her, you bitch.
Aliens,
I think Aliens
was
probably
actually too,
in the like late '80s, wasn't it?
Aliens.
This is 90, but it was around the same time.
Aliens
the first one was in '78, I think. But
part two.
No, because the giant mom thing does kind of look like the giant alien thing from the end of Aliens, and in some ways, it's kind of like it's kind of like a cheap knockoff.
Sure.
Like,
that makes
kind of do
that makes
too,
sense. That makes sense. I didn't put two and two together, but
why not? Let's see. So,
so
long story short, and how does he? What's the deal with? He holds up the amulet, right? And, no. So she eats him. Well, it brings him back in the womb.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't eat him. She opens up her stomach and consumes him back into like the womb.
With him,
which was fucking weird but hilarious. And he still got the amulet with him.
And then sure enough, Lionel takes the goddamn Dungeons and Dragons thing and shoves it through Mom's stomach and rips his way out.
Yeah.
And doesn't he say something to her, or whatever, fuck off, or I'm not afraid of you? And he confronts her about his dad and how she caught him cheating on her, and so she drowned both of them somehow.
He's like, I know you
which
killed.
Doesn't seem like a real thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
he was standing right there.
Yeah, and he saw the thing, and that's why he was traumatized by water.
And I don't see how. I don't see how it's possible for one person.
Yeah, and his mom was a stone cold
successfully drown
bitch.
2 people in a bathtub. I don't think it's physically possible unless you're like fucking.
Yeah, it seems tough. Well, Danny, if you had one person on top of the other one and held the person down on top, then it'd be hard for the person underneath to,
Anyway,
to get free.
He tells her to go fuck off, this and the other thing, and how does he finish her off? He fucking. Oh no, that's right. He tears her stomach open and then she falls through the roof, right, and into the fire. Yeah, sits in the fire.
And the house is on fire now.
He slaps the belt around the.
And then they get away outside of the house, and then the fire department shows up.
Indiana Jones again. Peter Jackson's like, I can do that too, Steven Spielberg.
Around the zip line.
Let's see. So this fucking two, and then I had to write this down. This fucking 2-hour unedited version of this goddamn movie is finally fucking over. And we still hear the fucking baby crying in the background. Did you notice that? Yeah. So, and finally I said, thank God the fucking movie's over. It was a fun movie, but I'll be honest with you, I've seen that movie so many goddamn times that it was kind of. Yeah, it's fun the first time. It's a blast. Hey, let's take a quick break. I need to.
That was my first time.
The Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
We love you. We love you. We love you as a listener. Yes, we do.
All right. right, and we're back from break. Let's get to the stats about Dead Alive, or what is it? Dead? What is it?
Brain dead.
Brain dead.
Brain dead or dead alive.
Dead alive. Let's
Right.
see. All right, so we're gonna start out. Let me get over here to the keyboard control. Background keyboard controls on. Actually, I need to turn it off. Okay. So let's start with Eddie. Eddie.
Hey, gentlemen, here we go. So, the preemptive thank you, appreciate that. So yeah, so this movie was initially released as Brain Dead in New Zealand and the Eastern markets. It was known as Brain Dead over there. When it released in America, it was called Dead Alive. Release date in New Zealand was August 13th of 1992. It didn't release until February 12th of 1993 here in the U.S. The budget for the movie was $3 million, which in today's money would have been $6.87 million. Box office was a complete bomb at 242,623, roughly 556,000 in today's money. So, directed by Peter Jackson. As discussed earlier, he was the director, writer, and producer of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit trilogies. And also notable is the 2005 remake of King Kong. He is the fourth highest grossing film director of all time and has made over $6.5 billion worldwide. Produced by Jim Booth and Wingnut Films. Written by Steven Sinclair, Fran Walsh, which is actually Peter Jackson's partner. They never married. And as well as Peter Jackson. Distributed by Trimark Pictures, originally known as Vidmark Entertainment, and later successor known as Lionsgate Films. Some notable films from this particular production company, or distribution company, I should say. Let's start with the Amityville Curse of 1990, the Warlock movies, and the Leprechaun series. All the Leprechaun movies under Lionsgate, but, initially was Telemark Pictures. Starring Timothy Baum as Lionel Cosgrove, Elizabeth Moody as Vera Cosgrove, Diana Peñalver as Paquita Maria Sanchez. We had Ian Watkins as Uncle Les, Stuart Devaney as Father Magruder, Brenda Kennel as Nurse McTavish, Jed Brophy as Void, Davina Whitehouse as Paquita's grandmother, and Henry Sinclair as Roger. I did try to do a little research into their careers, etc. The majority of all these actors pretty much had mild appearances in various movies and films out of New Zealand, but didn't make it worldwide, other than this particular movie.
Yeah, I don't recognize these people from anything, anywhere.
Yeah.
No, who the hell are you talking?
Exactly. And that's my bit for right now. I'm gonna hand it over to Louis.
Yes, sir.
What do you got, Louis?
Go on. So this is the main thing I'm gonna start out with. On its initial release in its home turf of New Zealand, this movie earned more per screen than Batman Returns back in 1992. Number two, they had 300 liters of fake blood was used in the final scene of the film.
Jesus
Right.
Was that enough or what? Fucking, they might as well just had a hose running. jumping straight to 4. The movie was said to be the bloodiest of all time, measuring the amount of film blood used during the production.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. That's what this movie's super famous for.
Gratuitous blood and guts.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's like a fact, right? It's like one of the bloodiest movie ever, or some shit, basically.
Yeah, if not the bloodiest of all time. Yeah, I mean, arguably.
Yeah.
If you consider that blood, I mean, that's goo to me, but whatever.
Yeah, but whatever. Yeah, good.
No, I mean, that's just what I saw it as. The BBFC loved the film and found the gore so comical and inoffensive that they seriously considered granting it a 15 certificate. And then they determined that the sheer quantity of the gore would confound expectations of 15 and therefore rated as 18. That was.
Oh, so they were gonna make it. They have like a lower viewer age over there or something like that.
Yeah.
Like a PG-13, but PG-15, but it didn't make it, so it was R.
Yeah, I don't know. And the BBFC is that in France?
That must be in New Zealand or something. Yeah.
I mean, New Zealand's like its own thing, other than the ties to the UK, right? They pretty much do their own deal.
Yeah, it's its own. Yeah, it's its own country.
They do their own thing.
They represent out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one I like the most. The rental in Sweden and probably other countries as well came with the supplemental vomit bag. You hit a blockbuster and you got that movie. They were like, "Here, you're gonna need this with that."
Man, that's
like, this is gonna be a good ass movie.
Oh boy,
that's a nice touch, man.
Yes, yeah, I know. But Mom, all the kids. This is, it's gonna be a typical like all the kids want to rent it, and all the moms are like, "That's disgusting." I mean, come on.
Well, the vomit bag. That's a good piece of marketing right there. Like, oh man, did you get the vomit bag for the movie? Kind of thing. Especially if they put the name or the picture of the poster on the bag
this.
Like
I bet you that shit's worth a couple $100 nowadays at least. Shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey,
if it's still got real vomit in it, it might be worth even more.
That's nasty, dude.
Bro. Man. Hey, yeah, we're moving on. During the lawnmower scene, movie blood was pumped at 5 gallons per second. And if you blame, Lionel said that it was December when the scene was filmed. The weather was so cold that the fake blood froze and hardened all over his clothes. Poor Lionel.
Damn, for real? It was that cold?
Lionel.
Well, wait a minute. In December, though, in New Zealand, that's summertime.
I know.
They're in the southern hemisphere. But who knows? Yeah.
I know. New Zealand's a little ass island out there, but you might be right, Eric.
Yeah. Who knows? It still could be cold.
It goes with the rest of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. You got it.
The movie was shot in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
3 weeks.
That makes sense.
Well, fuck. I mean, Eddie, you said it only cost $3 million. I know it lost money, but shit, that's nothing. I mean, some of these other movies we've watched, or whatever, cost more than that.
Easily,
Right.
I think countries like New Zealand and Australia, they have a lot of like government-funded arts projects, and I think this might have fallen into one of those categories.
Yeah, it could have gotten a tax break and all that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, something I didn't mention was this movie was actually also funded by New Zealand. Let me pull it up real quick. It was actually let's see here. So it's under Wingnut Productions, but it was also sponsored by the New Zealand Film Commission.
Yeah. Like Australia and New Zealand, like they have these different programs, like you said, for tax cut purposes, but they also, these countries do spend money on like the arts and stuff like that. It's not like in the United States,
Right. They want people to do art, so to speak. So they fund projects that might bomb or not be good, but that's all in the eye of the beholder.
It's for a good cause, and I think a lot of times these countries are trying to put their names in the like the fishbowl of like movie makers, because usually it's just certain countries,
Sure.
I'm sorry, Lou, good.
Yeah,
come to New Zealand to do a movie. Yeah, I mean, that makes total sense.
I'm just doing fun facts, so whatever input continues on, moves, whatever. So, moving on. Fame, Eli Roth once said Brain Dead was one of it, if not the only film that mentions bloodthirst. Sick fuck, right?
That mentions bloodthirst?
No. Thane Gorehound, Eli Roth once said it was one of, if not the only film that actually quenched his blood lust.
Fucking.
Like, I guess for.
So, yeah, he probably felt.
It is kind of.
Yeah. He probably thinks that, other movies don't have enough.
Hey, Eric, that was Nazi. That was the Nazi killer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's the little short Jew guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, that dude. He's a weird fucking guy, man. Trust me, in real life, that dude he's an oddball, man. But because I seen a lot of documentaries and shit that he works on, because he does a lot of the history of film type documentaries and TV shows and shit like that, and he's a trip, man. He's a trip.
Well, there's a reason why they brought his name up. But the film was originally supposed to be shot with a $4.5 million budget instead of a $3 million budget. Yeah. Shit like that. So
some funding somewhere.
I'm pretty much running out. Like all the other things I found out about the movie I didn't really care about. I didn't figure out to bring it up. But
that's all good.
Did you guys want to talk about a plot hole?
Oh, no.
Or how does this work?
Well, that was Louis. That was Louis. Louis and Eddie. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me get this right.
Thank you, Eddie.
Yeah, so you guys got that. Oh, you missed it, Eddie. Eddie and Louis were just wrapping up, and I had to give them the old.
Thank you, Eddie.
I hear that shit at work all day.
All right, so let's head over to the stat sheet. And Eddie, just so you know, it's going to be your turn to pick. So. All right, hold on. Let's do. So we talked about last movie. I'll fill it in later. Name the movie in one word. Give the movie a name, or in one word, describe the movie.
I'll start. Grotesque.
I don't remember asking you
Eddie, I hope you go to hell.
Okay.
You know what's funny? That was completely by accident. I keep forgetting to turn. It
worked. It worked.
Fucking keyboard off. Go ahead, Louis.
It worked, man. It worked.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll describe the movie in one word. I thought it was pretty silly. It was pretty fucking silly. Yeah.
Grotesque. What'd you say, Eddie or Eric?
Like Louis
said, silly. That's right.
It was silly. Yeah.
Louis, what do you got?
It was fucking kind of cool in the beginning, but at the end, boring.
You thought it was boring?
It was just so sporadic, and it was just I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna keep up with this shit. But then, I actually watched it at the end. I'm like, that was actually kind of boring, bro. Even though back then it was probably kind of cool. Nowadays, that shit is just bullshit, bro.
Boring. I don't know. In a word, I'd say it's I don't know. I mean, I guess the easiest way to put it is it's bloody. I mean, that would be the best way to put it. I mean, there's really no need to overcomplicate it. We can ask Kevin what he thinks.
Kevin.
Hold on.
Now, Kim Hem, what do you have to say for yourself?
Anyway, maybe we'll find out more about that later. Okay, so favorite scene.
Yeah, maybe.
Eddie, go first.
I mean, I've got a couple, but I'll stick to one. I mean, my favorite scene was Father Magruder opening up a can of whoop ass on those zombies, that zombie horde.
Kung Fu Priest, man.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. His Jean-Claude Van Damme and Bruce Lee
I'll go ahead and
impressions were
save everybody
fantastic.
time, and that's my favorite scene too. Eric, is that you?
I'm gonna go. I mean, I really liked the light bulb though for some reason. I don't know why. The light bulb. Yeah, that really rang the bell for me.
I love how they kept going back to her.
That and the intestines were great too. Yeah.
Louis, what do you got? Favorite scene?
Bro, so like I said, I requested the scene in the park. It reminded me of like some old school, like Mr. Bean type deal.
Yeah.
And it actually made the most sense of this whole movie to me. So I'm gonna have to go with that. Yeah, but it's Mr. Bean all the way.
Put that down, Mr. Bean, as well. In the park with Mr. Bean. All right. Favorite character, Eddie?
My favorite character was the baby.
You keep doing that. You just give me better samples to use, man. Let's see. That one's going to be fun. I'm going to put some effects on that one too, man. It'll be good. Eric, what do you got? It's favorite character.
Yeah, I'm going with the anus and the guts and the intestines and everything. Yeah, it was my favorite character.
Louis, favorite character.
My favorite character, honestly, was when the movie ended, but I didn't actually put. I guess no, I don't. You know, I don't think I have a favorite character. I could probably say the baby, but no, there was no favorite character. It was one of the movie.
I'm putting you down for the baby. You gotta pick something.
Louis couldn't wait for the movie to be over. Yeah, no, I hear you.
I'm going fucking Kung Fu Priest, man, for sure.
Yeah, that was. I mean, that was great. It was great. There's no wrong answer with any of those, in my opinion. Really. When they show him and he fucking lets out a little toot.
It looked like he had eyeballs and shit.
It was pretty great.
It was fucking great, man.
Yeah. It was totally aware of, without.
At some point, yeah.
Without a brain, without ears, without eyes, without a nose, aware of its surroundings, man.
All right, be or not to be, Eddie.
Don't let me influence you. I want your opinion, your honest opinion. That's all I want.
Eddie. I think it's pretty. Yeah, it's definitely an easy character.
Definitely a B movie.
I think that's across the board for everybody. We know what Louis' answer is going to be. But yeah, B movie for sure.
Louis' answer is going to be the end of the movie.
No, hell no. No, this is a triple A.
I'm going to put you down for
all the way across.
Of course. I'm putting Louis down for 3Bs. All right, so.
3B.
Let me hear you. How much skull rating, Eddie? What do you give this brain dead or alive madness?
I actually, I found the movie to be entertaining. I didn't really sleep through much of it. It was a bit boring near the end. I mean, I think the scene with Lionel as the lawnmower man went a little too long, but I mean, it got its point across. But for the most part, I mean, I found they really hit the humor marks. I mean, I was laughing from the priest and the nurse, zombie priest and the nurse, checking each other out and giving each other the eye, hey.
They find each other again later in the movie, right? Like in the middle of all the melee, they find each other again.
Yeah. I mean that like some of that, and then of course the baby like just had me just cracking up like pretty much like every time he popped up on the screen, I knew it was going to be something. I had felt it was going to be something funny, and sure enough, I'd start laughing. So yeah, I give it a three and a half skulls.
Eric, what do you got, Eric?
Pow. I got it at 4 skulls. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was fun. So that's where I'm at. I mean, yeah, there were boring parts. I mean, they're not
Yeah,
perfect movies. That's by far. But
Louis, what do you got?
I enjoyed it. So, yeah.
So this is the first movie we've actually done that's a '90s movie, and you know what? I was impressed. Oh, I thought it was actually worse than the fucking the '80s movies, and I mean, you're lucky to even get it 2.25 for me. I'm gonna leave it at 2.25. Nothing was impressive. The wasn't really
So
blood. It was goo.
You thought Night of the Creeps was better than this? Yeah.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. Yeah. It was, especially the plot and everything too, and the way the movie flowed. But
2.25.
2.25. That's it.
I will say this movie, did not have a Detective Cameron, which really put Night at the Creeps, in a different category.
I did kind of see where. Okay. No, yeah, that's true. I'm with Eric. I'll give it a solid 4-star B movie for sure, 1,000%. It is 1,000% a B movie. I would honestly, if I were to watch something like this now, I think I would turn it off. Honestly, like if you were to try to introduce this to me and be like, oh, you like, check out this movie. Like, I think if I was younger, like kind of say 20 years ago, I'd have been like, man, this is fucking stupid. You know what I mean? There's something very special about this movie to me. I've seen it many times. I've seen it with large, groups of people, parties and stuff like this. I've seen this many, many times. And it's great. One thing I did note, I note in my notes was that as many times as I've seen this movie, there's so much that every time you see it, you'll find something else. Especially in that last like 30 minutes, there's some shit going on somewhere. If you look at that frame, there's a lot going on in there. It's pretty nuts, man. I think it's pretty well done.
Yeah, the front entrance of that house and the killing spree and all that. There's a lot
in the
going
middle of that
on.
whole melee, dude. There's just shit going on everywhere. It's fucking insane. It's well done madness. I mean, it gets a little over the top Monty Python goofy for me. I don't like that part of it, but it's whatever. It's worth it. All right, well, shit. That was a review for Evil. Was it Brain Dead Alive? From 1992, Peter Jackson's humble beginnings in New Zealand. So at this point in time, we need to talk to Mr. Eddie about his pick for next week.
Yeah. So I actually thought this out. I had a few. I have a few movies that I wanted to pick from, but one movie won out over the others. I think it's about that time to introduce you to one of my favorite subgenres of horror film, which is some trauma. So my pick for this week is Class of Nukem High.
Okay. Wow. Let's see what we could find on the internet for Class of Nukem High.
Are you still?
Yeah.
So you think you can find the trailer for that, Danny?
1986. By horror.
So if you guys don't know about Trauma Entertainment, just to give you an example, one of their most famous films was, I believe, their first film, which was The Toxic Avenger.
I've seen many Trojan movies.
Ah, I see.
So,
what is it?
So if you like the Trout, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen nor heard of this movie, so this would be a new experience.
Check it out. Oh, this is.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie, stop. Eddie, stop. Eddie, stop.
Where'd it go? All right. Let's take a look.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There was 2 versions of it. But yeah, it was like not Duke Nukem. It was like was it?
You guys see all that?
Yeah, the pupils in a high school next to a nuclear power plant start acting. Oh, okay. Yeah, look at that shit.
Welcome to Tromaville High, an average American high school, with one exception. It's located only 1 mile away from a nuclear power plant. They said it was 100% safe. But they were wrong.
There's no danger, Governor. We have the situation well in hand.
Welcome to the class of Nukem High. Yes, at Nukem High, strange things are happening. The Honor Society has changed from a group of clean-cut preppies into a vicious gang of cretins.
We're the youth of today.
The teenage student body is transformed into horrifying mutations. And physical education is turned into a nightmare of violence. The class of Nukem High. Introducing Warren and Chrissy.
I love you.
2 young lovers caught in a world gone mad.
To die!
The class of Nukem High. Yes, at Nukem High, anything can happen. And does. The class of Nukem High, where you'll learn the 3 R's. Reading, writing, and radiation. See the most explosive action of the year. The class of Nukem High. Rated R.
Hell yeah.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty great, Eddie. Good choice.
For the week.
Yeah, I wonder if. Yeah, Louis.
Looks like a winner to me.
Next week.
Looks like a winner.
It'll be your turn pretty quickly. Okay. Louis got
No, I
picked
already
for
got
like
my
next 6
down,
months.
bro. Don't even worry about it.
Shit. Well, shit, man. Well, that was our
Yeah,
review
right.
of the
For real.
was it 1992 Brain Dead Alive, Brain Dead or Dead Alive, Peter Jackson. Thank you for joining us here at the Heavy Door Sound System, or excuse me, God damn it, the Heavy Door Horror Podcast, produced by the Heavy Door Sound System. I got to get that straight. Eddie, you want to say goodbye? You know, I was thinking we could all give a, like a peace out thing at the end. Eddie, if you'd like to go ahead and take the mic and just say a quick goodbye to all of our listeners.
Everybody, it's been fun. Everybody have a good night. Have a good day. Good night. Be safe.
Eric, what do you got?
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Everybody stay scary. Louis, you got any words
Everybody
for the
stay
people?
scary.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Fuck
That's
the fuck
for the
off. I'll see you
hardcore
next week.
fans.
Yes.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining us. My name's Heavy Door Dan, the Ganja Zombie, the original Bobby Long John, the radioactive one, saying peace out.
The Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Don't act like you're not impressed.